What's up, everybody? I'm back again with some new records, as always. Um, Before we get into that, we got a couple things to talk about. First off, I want to give just a big thank you to Sam from Telegram Sam. Uh, if you don't know Telegram Sam, or Sam, whatever you want to call it, she has a channel here on YouTube. She's a really great channel, by the way. I'll link her channel below. But she shouted me out in a video for a contest entry, and I thought that was the nicest thing, and I really really appreciated that. I don't do this for subscribers. I genuinely really love music. That's the first and foremost thing. I love music. I love different kinds of music. I love exploring music. And record collecting helps me explore a lot, which is just, I love expanding my knowledge and the sounds I hear, I guess. So thank you also to just everybody for all the support, all the subscribers, everyone that's new. Welcome. Thank you guys. I truly appreciate it. It's not why I do this. Like I said, I love music and I love records and I love showing those things. But it's also fun, to just talk about things like shrink wrap and all those controversial takes. I don't really have anybody in my immediate life that is super, super into music. At least not the music I'm into, I should say. I've got a lot of people I know that love music, but I don't really have anybody to talk about like jazz and super deep psychedelic hard rock stuff with. And nobody that really collects records the same way I do. So I appreciate everybody here. It's like a little family. We're like a little family, guys. But anyways, that's the first thing we need to talk about. Thank you, Sam. Again, I will link her channel below. She's got a great channel. She's kind of like me, collects a lot of different things. She knows a lot more about punk than I do, but I know she also collects like soul, rock, funk, all those things, psychedelic rock. Yeah, all those things. I know she's got a little bit of country too. I know she's a fan of the Flying Burrito Brothers, as am I. But anyways, second thing that we're moving on to is a shrink wrap update. Now, I'm curious to see what y'all think of this. I took the shrink wrap off. Look at that. Look how clean that cover is. Woo! Because I wanted to. I like how they look without it. They look just pristine and more vibrant. I don't get all the glare. I know that might seem like a cop-out, but I really hate seeing the glare on there. Look at this. Look how vibrant this one is. With all that perfect pink. Whew. And then I also took it off a couple other albums that I had in the shrink. I took it off On the Beach, which is probably my favorite Neil Young record, but could also be Tonight's the Night. Changes every day. Look at that. Just pristine jacket. And another one. A big one. The Honky Tonk Heroes. I took the shrink wrap off the Honky Tonk Heroes. The original. Whew. Look how white that is. Wow. Anyways, that's what I decided to do. I appreciated everybody's comment on that, though. I really enjoyed seeing everybody's differing opinions on that. But moving on to what I have found. It's not big. This is what we got. So, small stack. Nothing crazy. But first off is a 45 that I picked up online. An online buy. I don't buy many things online. But it's from a newer record company. They do reissues of hard rock and psychedelic rock, like really deep, obscure things. A lot of things that are only pressed on 45 and that, maybe like 10 people have. And so I picked this one up. This is by a band called Magic. And it's got the song Cotton Candy and Make Up Your Mind. Both killer. This sounds phenomenal, by the way. They do a really, really great job pressing them and also packaging. With it came this photo of the band. Not an actual Polaroid, but it looks like one. Supposedly it's the only known photo of the band's original lineup. And then this was an actual poster of theirs that had come out at some point for a concert of theirs. So they decided to include it as like a little cool piece of artwork, which it is awesome. Look at that. It's so badass. But then on the back, you've got information about the band. Just super cool. And then also they they emboss these 45 sleeves, and that's super cool. And then they also just put it all in this super nice thick 45 outer sleeve. So overall, sorry, I'm trying to put this back in too. Overall, very great packaging, very great product. Check them out if you haven't. They have an Instagram. They do limited runs of things, so there is like colored variants of this. I only have the black, but I think they did like 500 of the black and like 60 of the 2 different color variants, which is pretty cool. Moving on to the LPs though, what probably most of you were here for. I got a pair by this artist. One I had been looking for, this certain one, and the other is my favorite album by this artist. So this is Ray Charles. This is Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. A phenomenal album. This is great. The strings on this are great. This copy is not particularly great, but that's okay. This is an original mono press on ABC Paramount. I had been looking for a copy, an early copy, that doesn't have the Gold Record Award print on there. Very tough to find, actually. I actually found this for like $1. It's in okay condition. I'm going to keep looking for a cleaner one. But moving on, I've got What Did I Say by Ray Charles. This is my favorite Ray Charles album. This is a 3rd mono press on the Red and Plum label. The original came out in the Black Atlantic from the 50s. This came out in 59. I love this record. It's so just swinging and funky and groovy. And it doesn't sound like it came out in 1959, and especially the title track. Ray's keyboard playing on that, his electric keyboard playing, is awesome. Really great record. Check this one out if you like Ray Charles at all and you don't know this one. This is a great record. Very happy to have that. I paid like $3 for it. And it's in great condition. I mean, it plays with a little bit of noise, but that's fine. For $3, that's fine. Now we're going to get a little bit funkier. A little bit, not as dirty as this artist can get, but this is James Brown. Papa's got a brand new bag. This is an original stereo press on King Records. Now you can tell it's a first stereo because it doesn't have the crown above the King. Got this for like $8. Some rips. There's like a rip here, and like I think there's a top seam split that goes from like here to here. $8. Record looks pretty good, plays pretty good. Really great mid-60s funky James Brown stuff. I love his King output too, his early stuff on King before he went to Polydor. This stuff is great. I don't see this stuff that often. I've never seen this album before in person, so very stoked on that. I love James Brown. Who doesn't love James Brown? Doesn't matter what era we're talking about here. Excuse me one second. Oh yeah, I am wearing my Metallica shirt today. And this is, before somebody asks, my favorite Metallica album. I love Ride the Lightning. I would really love an OG press on Megaforce. Never seen one. Seen Master of Puppets a few times. I mean, it's a good album, but Ride the Lightning's the shit. Anyways, moving on. So some dirtier funky stuff. This is The Meters. Walked into a shop and this was on the turntable. They hadn't priced it yet or anything. And I was like, is that for sale? And they said for $20? Yeah, it is. And I was like, I'll take it for $20. But later Meters album. This is my first Meters album, actually. I love the Meters. Their early stuff is great too. This is from 1975. Produced by Alan Toussaint. If you don't know who Alan Toussaint is, he's a piano player, and he's the guy who originally wrote the song Southern Nights and put out the album Southern Nights, which Glenn Campbell later, made famous, or more famous, I should say. But Alan Toussaint is a genius, very underrated genius. Did a lot of great things in music and never really gets talked about. So check him out. Dig a little bit deeper into that if you like that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is 1975. This is Fire on the Bayou by The Meters. And I love this cover. I mean, that text is amazing. This is still very much in that Meters vein. Still has that just real funky, funkiness to it. It's got great guitar playing from Leo. It's got those killer drums. It's got everything you want. It just has some vocals on it, which are very good vocals. This is a killer funky record. If you don't know this one, it's not that expensive and you like The Meters, check this one out. And the one before this, I can't remember the name of it. It's got like the purple and different colored covered. Those are both just very funky albums that are great. And a little underrated in my opinion. But moving on, I have a record that I'm very, very excited to have back in my collection. I used to have a copy of it, an original, but I sold it when I needed some money. And this is probably the best copy I'll find of this for quite some time. The one I had before this was even cleaner, so it's kind of sad. I should have never sold it. But this is Dusty in Memphis. Phenomenal album. Dusty's voice is enchanting in this, in every album. But, you know, this is probably her most famous work. Excuse me. You know, English singer comes over to Memphis and records with some funky horn players. And creates just an amazing album. Most famous track on here is Son of a Preacher Man, which was originally meant for Aretha Franklin, but she turned it down. And then Dusty did it. And then she was like, oh shit, I gotta do it now. And she did. She recorded it, but Dusty's is better, in my opinion. This is an original Atlantic press. I don't know if I showed that. Very, very clean though. I mean, very nice. There's like no ring wear, maybe a little bit at the top near her head. But yeah, if you don't know this album by now, look it up. It's great. You can stream it very, very easily. If you do know it, or if you have it, you've got great taste. Nice job. Moving on to the last four, which are all jazz. Because I love my jazz, man. Can't get enough of my jazz. Next is an album that I think probably, if you like jazz, if you like things that are a little bit on the avant-garde side, you gotta have this album. It's not expensive. It's on a record label we all know. This is Chapter 1, Latin America, by, I hope I say his name correct, Gato Barbieri? Something like that. I'm sorry. I really hate getting those things wrong, but sometimes I just don't know how to pronounce them correctly. So let me know in the comments if you know how. But anyways, this is an original on Impulse. This is from 1973. Now, what makes this album interesting is that Gato, I mean, he's on Impulse, you know? He could have gone and gotten the best session players for him. But he went down to Brazil. He recorded part in Rio, and I can't remember the other city that he recorded in. And he got a bunch of local folk players, full, you know, jazzy, just local guys, and put this together. And this album is fucking amazing. One of the definitions of cheap heat, in my opinion. I got this for $10. Very clean. It's refreshing to hear this. It is on the avant-garde side. He does get out there. He's a sax player, by the way. But it's just so killer and passionate, and you can hear him loving his culture in this, and oh my god, it's an amazing record. But this one's really cool. I've never seen one like this. It does have a sticker. It says featuring La China, which is a shortened title for one of the, I think it's the very first song. Let me check. No, it is not. I'm sorry. It's on the other side. It's a big suite. It's amazing. This whole album is just so good. And then it also says promotional record for broadcast and review, not for sale. I don't know if it's supposed to be a white label or not. It's obviously, you know, not. I don't know. I read on the Discog notes that some of these copies, this is a Santa Maria press, that some of these copies came with the promo sticker, but it doesn't say they should be a white label, so I don't know. I don't really care. It's very clean. It's got a cool sticker. Stoked to have it. You can find that one very easily if you're interested. It's very full of Latin vibes. It is very Latin-y, but Gato's playing really just like transcends it. It's awesome. Next is an album I had been looking for. And I truly do not see a lot of records on this label out in the wild. So I ordered this one online. It was on eBay. It was a really good price. I saw it. I made an offer. And they accepted it. This is Kwanzaa the First by Albert Heath. Of the Heath brothers and Muse Records. My first Muse release, actually. I would like some more. There are some really great records on this label. There's a lot of duds on it too, but there are some really, really great records on this label. I think the most famous being The Free Slave by Roy Brooks. That's an amazing record. Check that one out. Stream it if you want to. It's great. But so is this. I love this record so much. It is a soulful, spiritual, kind of spiritual somewhat of a masterpiece. I don't know if I'd quite call it a true masterpiece, but it's got some really great playing on it. If you don't know who Albert Heath is, he is a drummer. He has two other brothers that also are musicians, and they played together quite a bit. So the lineup on this, by the way, the lineup on the Gato record is way too long. I was not going to read that. Anyways, Albert Heath is on drums, chimes, and timpani. Jimmy Heath is on tenor and soprano sax, also flute. Curtis Fuller on trombone. If you know jazz, Curtis Fuller is a name you probably know. He's on the Blue Train record with John Coltrane on Blue Note. Great trombone player. I'm not like super into trombone. I like it, and he's like the trombonist that comes to mind for me when I think of that instrument. Kenny Barron on piano and electric piano, Ted Dunbar on guitar, and Percy Heath on bass. It's a really great lineup. Just some great playing on here. Check it out if you don't know it. Check out Muse too, and The Free Slave by Roy Brooks. That is a big one for me. That's an awesome album. Next is one that I just kind of stumbled upon at a Half Price Books. This is my first release by this artist on this label. I have more releases by this artist, but I don't have any of John Coltrane's Atlantic output. This is My Favorite Things. This is a later Atlantic pressing, so it's not an original. I paid $20 for this, which I think for its condition is a great deal. I think this is a George Piros cut. George Piros was a mastering engineer who did some of the Zeppelin stuff in the like early 80s. I think this is a later 70s press, but super clean. Right before his quartet days, you know, he's still on Atlantic. But you can hear the beginnings of the quartet in this. The only person you're missing on here is Jimmy Garrison. You've got McCoy, you've got Elvin, and you've got John C. So you've got 3 of the 4. So you're almost there, but not quite. Just a great record. My Favorite Things comes from, what movie is it? It's one of those classic movies that I've never seen. I like classic movies, but I've never seen this one. There's a song called My Favorite Things, and he turns it into I know the song. He turns it into a really fun, great, just song that you can really get into. Very jammy. Now the last one. This is one of my favorite records of all time. In any genre. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be rock, funk, soul, jazz. Doesn't matter. This is not an original. It is the Acoustic Sounds pressing. Because originals are very tough to find and expensive. I will get one day. I will. I'll spend the money. Or if I just happen to stumble upon a good deal. But anyways, I got this in store. The same store I got the Dusty Springfield. This was the last one that they had. I'm a little late on this one. I know that. But this is The Black Saint and the Sinner Lady by Charles Mingus. What an amazing album. This album is just truly amazing. I know a lot of people have trouble with this one sometimes. If you don't know Mingus, which if you don't know Mingus, I would not start here. It is a little out there for some. But for me, I think it's one of the best pieces of music ever written. That's how highly I think of this album. It is just, it's hypnotizing. It's emotional. You can hear the pain and struggle, but also just like the longing for love in this album. I hear so many things in here. Plus, the, what do they call it? The plunger mute on the, I think on the trombone and the trumpet is just incredible. That sound is so psychedelic before psychedelia was even really a thing. But anyways, yeah, this is the Acoustic Sounds 33 1/3. This is my first Acoustic Sounds. I don't really buy reissues. I really gotta like something or love it to buy a reissue of it. And this one sounds amazing. I wish the low end was a little bit up there more, but it's great. It really sounds amazing. I can hear everything. The staging is awesome on here. If you're still on the fence about buying one, which I know it's been a little while, or you just don't have one yet, pick it up. It's really, really good. And yeah, that one's amazing. I love that record so much. I think Mingus is a genius, probably a very misunderstood person because of his mental health bouts. I don't know. I'm not going to get too into that. But anyways, again, thank you, everybody. I truly appreciate all the support on my channel. Again, I'm not doing this for the views, for the subscribers, but I do appreciate all of it, seriously. And thank you again, Sam. I really appreciated that shout out. Made my day when I saw that, to be honest. So thank you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Hopefully with some new records, which, if you know me, there's always new records. Anyways, cheers. Hope everybody has a good rest of their week, a good weekend. Go find some good things. See you guys later.